Throughout the entire time that I built this business, my personal life was literally in shambles. My name is Leslie Schofield, and over the last 10 years, I've built a pretty successful insurance agency. Today, I'm going to give you 5 things that I did right over the last 10 years to help me pass the $2 million mark. And then I'm going to give you the 5 things that totally killed my business. I really wasn't taking care of myself. I was using uppers to get me through a gym workout. I wasn't eating properly. Make sure you stay to the end of the video because the last one is a doozy.
Terminator strikes again.
So let's get into the things that helped me build this insurance agency. It's really difficult to become an entrepreneur overnight, especially coming from a 9-to-5 job like I did.
I hate my job.
So I knew that I had to treat it like a 9-to-5, even though I had the freedom and the flexibility to get to sleep in if I wanted to, do my own workout schedule. I could wake up at 10 o'clock and go to bed at midnight if that's what I chose to do. But instead, I chose to treat it like a 9-to-5 because I knew myself. And I knew that if I didn't, I wasn't going to be successful. So I got up at 6 o'clock every single day, and I plugged in to our team calls, which started at 8 a.m. I did this every single day. Every time there was a team call, I was on the call. It didn't matter if it was 10 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the morning. And we did have a 5 o'clock hot seat call actually with the CEO of the company. And that ended up being my favorite call because I wanted to break my barriers and build a giant team. Which leads me into the second thing that helped me create success in this business. I had a mentor from day one, somebody that I trusted, helped me learn the business, helped me get on team trainings. Matter of fact, every single time that I left a client's house, if I didn't get the application, I called this person and broke down what happened in the appointment.
You want to tell me what happened?
Even if I got a sale, I called them after the appointment no matter what, and I told them what I did. And we went through things that I could have done better. Maybe I could have gotten more premium. Maybe I took the low-hanging fruit and just got, the bottom level of coverage for this person because I had commission breath and I didn't know how to sell for real. So there are benefits to having a mentor from day one in this business. I highly recommend it. And sometimes it might not be your immediate upline. I want to make that clear. Just because the person brought you in the business doesn't mean that they are your mentor. Look around and check out how your people above you are living, okay? If they're making more money than you, if they're driving a car that you want, if they're living in a penthouse suite, if they're taking family trips, you need to look at who you're surrounding yourself with and figure out who's the most suitable to be the mentor. The other thing that you need when being successful in business is clients to call. In our industry and in a lot of these sales industries, you can actually purchase leads. So back when I started, we were doing direct mail. And since then, the lead game has shifted. So you can actually buy leads online. You can do TV commercials, radio commercials. You can pull from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's a million different ways to get clients. We didn't have that back then. I make it sound like it's so long ago, but it's not. It was just like right a minute ago. But back then, we were just doing direct mail. And so I knew right away that if I could make $2,000 on one sale, and the pack of leads cost me about $450 to $500, that made sense to me. The ROI made sense. So all I needed to do was get my first batch of leads and sell one, and I could reinvest and get another batch of leads. And then all of the other leads that I had were profit. So that's the way that I calculated the business, and that's how I operated from the very first day. I never went without clients. From then, our business has evolved in such a way that we now get to work off referrals. We know how to handle clients that have passed away and help families that are really going through a devastating time. And when that happens, you actually gain a lot of business from that because you did what you were supposed to do when you met them the first time. Now, if you're knocking out the first 3 things that I told you to do, at this point, you're making about $10,000 to $20,000 a month. When that happens, you need some help.
I need help so badly.
There's no way that you can absolutely run your policies, check on your pending business, run your social media, be a mom, have a family, cook, clean. There is no way you can even order your groceries, okay? And by the way, back then we couldn't order our groceries. That didn't happen until after COVID. So here's what you have to do. The fourth thing that I did was delegate. It helped my business tremendously. As soon as I started writing about $10,000 to $15,000 a month, I hired a virtual assistant. This person's job was to push my business through the pipeline. So if anything was pending, if a client needed to hear from me, if they were missing their cards, lost a policy, change a beneficiary, whatever it was, up their coverage even, I made sure that my virtual assistant was available for 40 hours a week to help me run my business. I also started delegating heavily when I got divorced. I was divorced right about 2.5 years into my career.
So we've decided to get a divorce.
And that shifted my business. So I needed even more help then. Guess what? I started ordering my groceries. I hired a dog walker. There were multiple, I had a house cleaner. I had somebody come and clean my house because I shifted from a family dynamic to being a single mom. You get more successful when you delegate, especially when you delegate things that you're not that good at. Everybody has things they're really good at and things they're not so good at doing. So what I did was in my VA, I found out what her strengths were and I hired to my weaknesses. What does that mean? So if I knew I wasn't good at posting on social media or designing what needed to be said on the social media content, I hired somebody for that. If I knew I wasn't going to clean my house, I hired somebody for that. Now we have apps and things in place to help make our lives simple. So at this point, there's no reason why you can't be successful delegating. Let's face it. You're not getting your baseboards. You're not cleaning on top of the fan. You're not doing it. So why can't you hire somebody to come and do that once a month? We're here to make money. This is not a money. This is what I did. Honestly, when I was delegating, if it was not a money-making activity, I did not do it because I'm the one generating the income, right? I'm the one that needs to make the money. How can I make the money if I'm scrubbing down on the floor? I can't. Somebody else can do that. I was really excited to get into business for myself and I told everybody about it. So right off the jump, I had people following me and watching me to figure out what it is I was doing because I was number one at the furniture store. And if somebody who's making $89,000 at the furniture store abruptly leaves, people are wondering what it is that I'm doing, right? And then I had immediate success because I don't take no for an answer. So the last thing that I did that kept me successful was I told everybody about the business. I was always closing. Whether I was closing a client or getting somebody in the business with me, I told everybody about what was happening. I knew if I told them about what was changing in my life and the things I was doing that they'd be excited about it too. And I was excited to see them have an opportunity to change their life too.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
How cool is it that you get to come into a business, any business, any idea that you have that you think is stupid, once it becomes your main source of income and you offer it to other people and then they come in and do it, it's just a different feeling. And it kept me addicted to the cycle of telling people what I was doing and bringing them in. We love a good breakdown. Okay. I also compiled a list of things that I didn't do that I wish now looking back that I had done and things that I did do that I wish I hadn't done. So I'm going to tell you about that real quick. The first thing is I did not take care of myself. I definitely did not take care of myself. I didn't know that I needed to take care of myself. 10 years ago, I was between 29 and 30. Okay. And I just was looking at the possibility of everything. And I got wrapped into being a heavy producer and did not know that as I age with that level of activity, that it would wear down my body.
Ooh, anything I'm worn out, huh?
I had no idea because I thought I was full of abundant energy, right? And I could just run through walls if I needed to. So I think that it's really important that you acknowledge no matter what age you are, and it doesn't matter what business you're in, you must have a separate time set aside. I'll even go so far as to say a whole day, and don't kill me for that because y'all are entrepreneurs, but yes, you need a day to like unwind, bring it down a notch. And so actually detaching from devices is something that we didn't know we needed to do. We know it now more than ever. if that makes sense.
Take care of yourself, you hear?
Something else that I did wrong was I believed that hustle and grind was the goal. I thought that hustle and grind was how I achieved what I needed to achieve. I did not believe it wasn't possible for me that I could get to where I wanted to go with ease and grace. I just knew my nickname is Terminator.
So, she's an anti-Terminator. Terminator?
I literally have a Terminator poster on my wall. And the reason why I have this Terminator poster is because I was brand new in the business and got pregnant. And I bought a brand new car with a snow mode on it so I could work pregnant in the snow 8 months pregnant. And I did that. And I didn't need to do that. And I know that now, but I didn't know it then. And so hustle and grind is nice, it sounds good. Society wants you to believe that you have to do that, but you don't. You could actually do this business and be really successful with ease and grace. And I wish I knew that back then. Shiny object syndrome is this toxic little thought pattern that pops up in your head and makes you think that what you have is not good enough. And it's a little devil that comes in and robs and steals your goals and your joy away from you. And it happened to me. And it's happened to me over the whole entire course of my life. And it's basically exactly how it sounds. You have a shiny, sparkly object come into your sphere, and you think, oh, what I'm doing isn't working, so I'm going to hop over here and try this out. Or I'm gonna hop over here and do this, or I'm gonna buy a different lead type, or I'm going to do things differently. I'm gonna reinvent the wheel somehow, okay? That happened to me multiple times in my business endeavors, and it's actually cost me a lot of money and caused me a lot of guilt and shame in my business.
I'm filled with guilt and shame.
When I first got started, I had a life and annuity license, and I did not have a health license. I got shiny object syndrome, and yes, I was very successful at shifting gears because I'm a unicorn, and I can shift gears and make it work, and that's one of the strengths that I have. But guess what? It's not duplicatable, and most people don't operate that way. So you've got to identify within yourself, what type of person are you? And if you know that shifts create animosity in your business, don't do it. Don't go after the shiny object. Just figure out with your mentor what you can do to improve where you're at right now and avoid jumping ship. Throughout the entire time that I built this business, my personal life was literally in shambles. Some of you have this happening to you right now where you can literally say, wow, like my life has been chaotic. Some of you have no idea what this feels like. And I'm realizing that people exist in the world that actually have normal, I was gonna say slow and boring, but that's not true. Normal lives, okay? People actually have normal lives. I was not one of these people. All throughout my entire career, my personal life, behind the scenes, behind the camera, behind the policies, behind Hall of Fame, all of that was completely in shambles, totally. I went through pregnancy. My first year and a half in business, I got pregnant, had a magnificent little boy, and got divorced. Totally. Divorce almost took me out, but I knew I could produce, so I knew I could pretty much demolish my partner at the time in court because I had unlimited amount of money because I knew I could just go out there and hustle and grind, which doesn't work, and get the money to get me through this divorce. So that was going on behind the scenes. And then after that, some bullshit happened that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then after that, I got married 6 months before COVID broke out to my high school sweetheart, right? So this whole time I'm drinking, you know, I was drinking like at social events and drinking at home, and I was doing what every normal person would do. And I had a healthy drinking agenda. I wouldn't say that I was out of control drinking, but I was drinking too much. I was working out in a toxic way too. Like I wasn't working out in a healthy way at all. I was definitely like popping a couple Adderalls and going to the gym. I struggled with body dysmorphia during this time. I really wasn't taking care of myself. I was using uppers to get me through a gym workout. I wasn't eating properly. And I was hustle and grind. pretty much the whole time. So yeah, things were going on behind the scenes that people just don't even know about. And I didn't have a grip on my family life. I didn't have a grip on my drinking and things like that. And so yeah, I don't know how I'm in business, to be honest. No clue.
Life is crazy.
It's gonna be a doozy.
So anybody that's an agency owner or a business owner, anybody that's a manager of a team on a corporate level, it does not matter. If you're in a superior job position in your career, you're not supposed to be friendly with your team. And I made the mistake of becoming very close with female and male counterparts in my business, and this cost me. This cost me a lot of time and money, and it created a lot of guilt and shame that I later on had to figure out how to let go of in my business. I remember there was a time when I could not laugh and joke about this topic. It was completely devastating to me, and it damn near took me out. I am thinking back about it now, and it's like, I reached out for support. There was an insurance mogul in the business who actually I went to help save my business in a way, because I was in a situation where I had mixed personal and business together, and it became so toxic for my company that I had to get out of it somehow, and I couldn't do it without some upper hand, some strength, some arm muscle to get me out of that. So I did shift my business into a different, I took my business to a different place till I could clean up some of the mess that I had made in my business. But it was catastrophic. And honestly, I have no idea how I survived it, except for that I just focused on doing the right thing from that point forward and prayed a lot. And I recovered from it.
That's because you're a survivor.
The whole purpose of me being candid and sharing my journey with you guys is because I think it'll help you to understand that I'm just a normal person with normal family. No, I don't have anything normal about my life. You can't say any of that. So thank you for watching. This channel is brand new, so I know you're a new subscriber. And what you can expect from me is the real, raw, candid story of my life and what it's taken for me to build a successful insurance business. What you can expect on this channel is I'm gonna give you the blueprint on how I built my business and how I can help you to build yours. This week on The Secret Lives of Insurance Agents.